You already felt that everything was going well with her, and suddenly, as if it were at night to the day, she started to walk away. The conversation diminishes, the interest disappears, the answers get cold, and you stay there, trying to understand what you did wrong. The truth is that most of the time this distance is caused by a single mistake. Yes, a silent but fatal error that many men make without even realizing it. And that's exactly what we'll talk about now. If you are the kind of face that values a woman who wants to learn to maintain lively emotional connection, who seeks genuine attraction and a solid relationship, you need to understand something very important. Attraction is not logical. Seduction is not about expensive gifts or cute messages on WhatsApp. It is about energy, posture, perceived value. And do you know what is crazy? Sometimes what makes her away is not the lack of affection, but the excess of it. It's not what you stop doing, but how much you give yourself too early. Because when you put yourself too much, when you show that you are 100% available, you break one of the most powerful principles of seduction: mystery. Women are not attracted to predictable men. They are moved by emotions, and what keeps these emotions alive is the game of curiosity, challenge, discovery. If you reveal everything about who you are, if it proves needy, dependent on her attention, you kill the magic. You become one more, and that's exactly where many men make mistakes. They think they are showing how much they care, when they are actually giving the message that they have no life of their own, that they are desperate for approval. And the side effect of this is cruel. It loses interest, loses desire, loses admiration. The real thing is that to be unforgettable for a woman, you need to understand what activates her radar. And this emotional radar scan all the time. Is this guy a leader, a man of value? Does it have options? Is he safe from himself? Or is he here just flattering me not to be alone? Now, if you have gotten here, it is because you know there is something behind her distancing, something that can be avoided, and even better, reversed. But you will only get this if you understand the real dynamics behind the female attraction and what differentiates an ordinary man from a man she simply can't forget. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. But before we continue, I want to make a direct invitation to you. Comments down here with the phrase, "I'll change it," if you already realized that you are making this mistake, or even if you had no idea that it would drive women away. Seriously, write this in the comments now, because when you declare a change, when you publicly commit yourself, you start to reprogram your mind. You stop being just another lost guy and become a man who takes control of his own reality. Here, in this channel, we don't just talk about empty seduction techniques. We talk about behavior, mindset, real value. We talk about how to become a man she wants, respects, and admires. A man she's afraid of losing, not one she just forgets after a ghosting. If this content is making sense to you so far, leave the like now, because it helps the video to reach more guys that are going through the same situation. There are a lot of people out there being rejected, ignored, wondering where it was wrong. And maybe this video is exactly what she needs to see. And of course, you subscribe to the channel now and activate the bell, because in the next video I will show you how to recover the interest of a woman who walked away, and the step-by-step you can apply today to rekindle that powerful connection that seemed to have died. Best of all, doing it without running, without humiliating, and without losing its value in the process. Because you deserve to be the guy she chooses, not for pity, not out of insistence, but because she can't get you out of her head. Now, let's go to the next point, because this is where the game starts to turn. Now, let's go to the next point, because this is where the game starts to turn. Let's go straight to the point. The fatal error that makes a woman move away without warning, without drama, and no chances back. And it's more common than you think. You may be committing it now while watching this video, or have you committed and you haven't noticed it? But the real one is you stopped being a challenge. You were predictable. And predictability, my brother, kills the attraction. Women do not move away from good men. They move away from obvious men, men who deliver everything from the tray, that are available all the time. They respond in the next second with a text full of heart, while she responds to you with a kak or a dry emoji. And do you know what she feels at this time? That has you in hand, that you have already surrendered, and when she feels it, the game reverses. She loses interest. And it's not about being cold, distant, or playing stupid games. It is about understanding how the female mind works. Women's attraction is activated by emotional tension, novelty, that feeling of, is he really in the mood? What will he do now? When everything is already delivered, when she already knows what to expect from you, there is no excitement, there is no tension anymore, just routine. And the routine is the tomb of seduction. Do you know that guy who sends good morning every day at the same time, even after she didn't even answer the last two? That guy who lives looking at the stories, enjoying everything, commenting with compliment in her every picture of her? This guy, unfortunately, is not what she wants. He's the guy she ignores, because it does not represent any challenge, no mystery, no value. You need to understand something nobody told you. Too much attention gives you the need. A need for most women sounds like emotional need, and what they avoid most is a man who seems needy, desperate, or emotionally unstable. The woman wants to feel that she is facing someone who has an interesting life, full of purpose, goals, and self-confidence. Not someone who lives in her own. She doesn't want a man who does everything for her. She wants a man who respects herself enough not to lose herself trying to please. She doesn't want a needy man. She wants a man of value. A guy who has other priorities, who knows what he wants, who doesn't need constant approval to feel good about himself. A guy who knows his own value and is therefore desired, not ignored. And this is where most are lost. Because in an attempt to make it work, you start to nullify yourself. It starts to stop going out with your friends, starts to focus on your projects, starts answering messages while you should be working or taking care of yourself. And she realizes that, feel it, and it goes away, gradually, until it disappears. But pay attention, this does not mean that she is cold, bad, or selfish. It only means that your behavior no longer activated desire. And without desire, there is no emotional connection that resists. Therefore, the fatal error was not to have been too legal, it was to have been predictable. Too easy, too easy. You left the game without even noticing. So now that you understand this point, I want to know, have you realized you made this mistake at some point? Have you had the feeling that the more you surrendered, the more she distanced herself? Tell me here in the comments with the phrase, "Now I understand the error." Write this. Even if he hurts, he comments. This helps you recognize the turning point. And take the opportunity to tell me too. Do you want to regain this interest, or do you want to learn never to lose control again? Let's go together on this journey. And if you haven't left your like yet, now it's the time. This strengthens the channel and shows that you are really committed to change. Oh, and if you haven't signed up yet, do it now. Because in the next video, I'll show you how to recover her interest intelligently and emotionally powerful, without despair, without a game. Just real strategy. But hold there, because the next point you will see now can completely turn the game to your advantage. But hold there, because the next point you will see now can completely turn the game to your advantage. Maybe now you are wondering, okay, I understand the mistake, but how do I reverse it? And the answer is yes. It gives time, yes. Only you need to completely change the way you position yourself. You need to stop trying to prove your value and start living like a man who already knows he has value. Because when you change your posture, you change her perception. And when perception changes, interest can come back, sometimes even more intensely than before. The first attitude you need to take if you want to reverse this clearance is to apply what I call strategic space. And notices that I am not talking about ignoring for tantrum or disappearing on purpose just to generate jealousy. This is a child game. The space you need to create now has to be smart. It is you to leave the scene temporarily, not as a form of punishment, but as a way to reposition your value. When you stop sending a message all the time, when you are always available there, you generate emotional space for her to feel your absence. And believe me, well-managed absence is one of the most powerful weapons of seduction. The second step is to rebuild its social value. And this is not just about posting photo on Instagram pretending to be happy. It's about really living well with or without it. It is to show that your life does not revolve around a woman, that you have friends, projects, goals, hobbies, that you are evolving as a man. Do you know what is most attractive to a woman? See that you have a world of your own, that you are not standing waiting and decide whether to pay you attention or not. It changes the game. This shows that you are a man of abundance, a man who has choices, and men with choices don't run behind, they attract. And finally, you need to master what I call controlled mysteriousness. This is gold. When you talk less about yourself, it only reveals what is necessary and leaves the rest in the air. You activate the most primitive instinct of the feminine mind, curiosity. And curiosity generates attention. Attention generates interest. Interest becomes desire. And I wish you already know where you will give, so stop delivering everything. Stop telling your plans, your pain, your feelings with unnecessary intensity. Let her want to know more. Let her feel that there is something in you that she has not yet found. And this something needs to be protected, cultivated, gradually revealed. This is what keeps tension in the air. And tension, when well dosed, keeps any woman on you. Now answer me sincerely. When was the last time you let her look for you? When was the last time you made her feel you could lose you? Maybe it's time to do that, because in the end, she will only see you as a man of value again, when he stops seeing you as a predictable man. And the secret is to stop chasing it. Make it run after the mystery you represent. And if this content helped you see where you were making a mistake, and especially how to reverse, comments down here now the phrase, "I want to win back." This shows me that you are committed to this change. And if you have identified with what we've talked about here, also enjoy commenting which of these three attitudes you find it hard to apply. Space, social value, or mystery, typing there in the comments, "I really want to know." We will continue this conversation in the next video because there is still a powerful turn for you to give this story.